Alrighty, everybody. So we're gonna go over the few improvements that I made this week. Um, First and foremost, I added some more of these little cards right here. I know it says four, but during class, you said 3 to 4, so I decided to just keep it with three, just because of how big this one is. Um, and I think that the data inside of it is really good. I also changed these up a little bit where they're a little different from my previous one as far as like what the data is saying. But let's do a test. Let's do the Dallas Cowboys. So I'll drill through to show you my second enhancement. Okay, so I have I changed up what the criteria were in this parameter. So this is average points allowed per game, average points per game. So it's like average points per game on offense, average points allowed. It's like the offense defensive points. So points for, points against. Same thing with the average yards. And so I wanted to keep these parameters because I think they directly influence winning. So yards allowed per game. They had an all-time high of yards allowed per game and their winning dropped. So like I think that's good. But we also noticed that they had really good winnings and it kind of wasn't very stable right here. But they did have a lot more points per game. So they didn't need as many yards. So I think that this is a really good indicator. My sorry, now I'll get to my second one. I created this little tool pin just like we were asked to. Again, it shows what we covered in class, just super basic stuff. And I kind of formatted mine to look a lot like yours. Um, I kind of changed up some of these criteria. I included the mascot's name. So the mascot's name is Rowdy. Um, but yeah, so I really like this page. I think that this chart right here is probably my favorite one that I have, and it's a really good teller on a team level of their success. And then here are the other visuals I decided to come up with. So this one is just a pretty basic average wins by team. So it starts with obviously the Chiefs are the best, and the worst are the Jets, or sorry, Panthers. It's a little bit crowded just because it's all the teams, but um, I think it's pretty useful to see it on a team level. This one shows average points per game for each season, which I thought was actually pretty interesting. So we see that the NFL since 2020 has had their points per game go down quite drastically, actually. So last year was just 21 points per game, but in 2019 it was 22 and 24 in 2020. So it seems like defenses are doing better or offenses are doing worse. Um, this one, this one's pretty interesting. I did average yards per game versus average yards against per game. So essentially, like this guy right here, they are not scoring a lot, or they don't have a lot of yards, and they're allowing like around 300 yards, which is why they have the lowest win rate of any team. Now, this team right here, let's see, who is this team? The Browns. So they're not allowing a lot of yards, but they do have quite a bit of yards, which allowed them to get an average wins of 11. So I really like the data, basically the visualization of everything. Some teams are pretty interesting, just like this one's 6 wins, and then this one's 8 when they had around the same yards per game and yards against. And then this one I have interceptions and fumbles per year. This is just how many fumbles there were versus interceptions. Pretty interesting. There's always more interceptions. It's pretty standard across the board. But yeah, so I used the pie chart right here. I forget what the name of this one is. Area chart. Here's my scatter plot, and then this is just a double column chart. Cluster column chart. Sorry. Yeah, so those are my three enhancements. I'm actually really happy with the way this looks. I'm glad I made some extra parameters right here because I think it makes the whole thing look a lot better, and I really like the data that's coming out of it. With the points per game and average yards allowed per game. Yeah, so those are my enhancements for the week, and yeah, have a good one.